Greetings, it's Andy here again, and this is it's one of those threads, and this one is called Spell a Sport. Now I understand this one was started by MGK Boston, and I picked it up from watching a video from Life of Vinyl the other day, and I thought, well, that's a good idea. I'm going to give it a go. So I'll put a link to those down below. Anyway, my sport, the idea of this is name a sport and then spell it out with bands, you know, with those, starting with those letters, and showcase an album from them. So my sport is Tiddlywinks, and I can hear you all saying that that's not a sport. Well, try telling that to Tiddlywink enthusiasts. There's even a world championship most years, I believe. Anyway, the only reason I'm picking it is because it's a good selection of letters from which I can showcase some, a decent selection of albums. And also because if other people do this thread, I doubt anyone's going to do Tiddlywinks. So anyway, I've got a good mix of records here. Some, go back to the 70s. I don't have any from the 80s. I almost had one. I've only got one from the 90s and quite a lot from the last couple of decades, so the current century. But anyway, let's start with T. And my album, or my band, is Tangerine Dream, and their 1971 classic Alpha Centauri. So this is one it's a reissue. It's actually in clear vinyl. It's one I picked up at a record fair a little while ago. So that's that. Idolwild and their album The Remote Part. Idolwild are a sort of Scottish folky indie band. This to me is their outstanding record. It came out in 2002. I had it at the time on CD. In fact, I saw them in 2003 at a sort of like mini festival, and they're superb. And this is a brilliant album. And the D is Doves, one of my favourite bands. I hail from the from Manchester or Manchester area. This is their last or most recent album, the Universal One, which came out in 2020. I saw them in 2002 and they were absolutely fabulous. And those early albums from the very early OOs, like Lost Souls, their debut, are my favourite. This is a very good album. It's the only one that I have on vinyl, which is why I'm showcasing it. I've got all the others on CD, and it's a very good album. The opening track, Carousels, has an absolute beautiful drumming part. It must be one of the last ones he did before he passed away, by the great Tony Allen. So that's Doves. Second D, I'm hard in here. Very nearly had a 1980s album in there. I thought I'd put Indexis in there. But anyway, I've gone from one of my favourite bands, which they get slagged off a bit, but they're absolutely brilliant. Dire Straits, and this is their 1978 debut, eponymous debut, Dire Straits. Great track. I mean, Sultans of Swing, what more can I say? So moving on to L. And this L is Lin Poe, and their album Peach. So Lin Poe, two sisters, Megan and Rebecca Lovell, who I think hail from Atlanta, Georgia. They're sort of almost country blues. Megan is an absolute fabulous slide guitar player. They both play guitar, but Megan plays slide, and she is superb. So moving rapidly on. Now, why? Yes is the obvious one. When I look through my whys, it's almost all yes, let's face it. But I'm not picking a particular album, I'm picking a box set. And this is the Stephen Wilson remixes, which came out in around 2020, I think. And basically it's a remix of, or remix albums of their great 70s run of the Yes album, Fragile, Close to the Edge, Tales from the Topographic Oceans and Relayer, given the Stephen Wilson magic. I bought it. I had to just look on Discogs to see how much this is what this goes for these days. And I got it when it first came out on Amazon. It was £100 or £101, I think, which I didn't think was too bad for 5 albums. And the medium price on Discogs is 230. The lowest was 170. And the highest is like £320 or something like that. So this was a good buy for £100. W, The War on Drugs, and this their most recent album called I Don't Live Here Anymore came out in 2021, and a lovely album, really nice record. Another fairly recent one for The Second Eye. I actually don't have that many eyes, so there weren't masses of choices, but anyway, I'm going for Idols, the Bristol-based punk. You know, they're about as punk as you can get these days. This is their most recent album, Crawler. It's the only one I have on vinyl. I sort of have a bit of a love-hate relationship with Idols. I have to be in the mood for them because I find the vocals a little bit more shouty than I like. But when I'm in the mood for that, they are brilliant. So that's Crawler. Another expensive one though. I got this in the sale. So we're now on to N, and it's Harry Nilsson and Nilsson Schmilsson. And this is a Mo-Fi original master recording on 45 RPM double. I got it in the sale. It was winking at me in a sale. It was still bloody expensive, but it was a big discount on the going price. You know, the original was released in 1971, and I got this one in about 2021. I think it came out. So I might have got it last year. I think. But it was released in 2021. So that's Nilsson Schmilsson. And we're down to the penultimate letter now, and it's K. And Michael Kiwanuka and his eponymous album, Kiwanuka, which was actually his third studio album. And it came out in 2019, and this one actually won the Mercury Music Prize in 2020. It's a lovely album. It's a double, and it's sort of soul, a little bit of jazz in there, and great, just a fabulous singer and a great musician. And to finish, I ummed and ahed a bit about this because it's S, obviously Tiddlywinks. And there's lots of S's. I've got loads of S's, and I was sort of tempted to put a Sigur Rós up there, but I'm going post rock, but a very, very early classic of the genre, 1991, and I'm talking about Slint even. And Spiderland, an absolute classic album. So I hope you enjoyed that. I thought it was a bit of fun, really, just picking a sport or a pastime in my case, really, and using it to pick out some records. And to be honest, when I started, I didn't know what I was going to do, so I just rummaged and pulled them out. So thanks for watching. Cheers.